Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. And sorry about the camera jiggle. um, I am working on my 100-day project, and this is day 45. And this is somewhere near Caliente, and I think that's Nevada. It was a picture I had in one of my photo albums, and it was right next to a picture in Caliente. So, on the road somewhere near there. And I took it because I'd seen this artist a photographer, a few years ago. He did a lot of desert photos that were really cool. He had one, it actually had a motorcyclist on it, but he had one where he saw this motorcycle like miles and miles away and thought when he got closer it would be a good shot. So he set up his tripod in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. And the road looked a lot like the one I'm creating here. And he waited till the motorcyclist crested the hill and took the picture. Like, I don't know how long that took, but the motorcyclist like kind of acknowledged him as he took the picture. So he knew exactly what he was doing. Like, knew that he was planning on taking his picture. But I really liked that one. And he has a bunch out in the desert. And you see a road and a car. Or random things like that. But, so yeah. Now I'm gluing on my road. And it's supposed to look like it's going over a hill. And then there's this, in the distance you can still see the road. Does it look like that? Maybe when I get the white lines on, it'll look more like a road. And still scrounging up to find some green stuff for my green stuff. You know, all these pictures of countrysides and stuff, they're all green. Unless it's fall, and then they're all brown. But, so I'm running out of good green. I decided to speed it up just a little bit more. I have 5 of them today to get through. This one has a few more pieces, so it's a little bit longer. So now I'm creating some shading along the side of the road. So it looks, I don't know if it helps, but, well, it helps a little. I know it helps a little bit. I just don't want flat, you know? I think my brush that I've been using for the Stabilo, the tip is stained black now. Because I've used it every day for just this. And I think it's turning a little bit black. So now I'm going to try. I forget, you have to shake the white to get it to show up. And I decided to swap it for the smaller. There we go. So does it look like a road now with the white lines? Anyway, that was day 45, Caliente. I like the name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I like how I say it. Caliente. Alright, so this is day 46, and I decided to do some bright stuff. I don't know, this yellow might be a little too much yellow, but the location is St. Thomas, that's in the Virgin Islands, and yeah. So we're going to have some pretty Caribbean water. So I thought the yellow kind of went okay with that. As the sky, maybe it's a sunrise or sunset. And I know it's not straight across the bottom, but I'm okay with that. I mean, that's why I'm tearing them all and not cutting them, right? So they're uneven on purpose. This paper that I'm using was from a project a couple years ago, and what it was I scribbled on there with white crayon and then brushed blue acrylic ink on it. But all I have left is these little narrow strips, and those lines make a definite horizon, right? So I had to kind of patch them together. And here I'm adding the beach. And in the picture there was a little island, so I'm going to put a little island in there. And technically, the actual picture, there's a little town there. But I did not include any buildings on this one. So this one was a little quicker. Blech, I can't speak. This one was a little quicker, right? Now I'm just adding some, differentiating the layers in the hills. I don't know. I guess they're called mountain. I guess they're mountains, technically. They're just not like my mountains. My mountains are big. Virgin Islands, they're little mountains. And that's not supposed to look like a volcano, but that's a pretty pointy peak. There we go, day 46. So this one is day 47, and the location is Flaming Gorge. So that's not technically still in Utah, but it's east of where I am. My friend and I go wandering. We've decided that once a month we take a little small 1-day excursion or 2-day excursion to go see something that one of us has not seen in Utah, and we've lived here all our lives. And I'm pretty sure I'd been to Flaming Gorge, but I didn't remember it, and she'd never been. So her family didn't do a lot of driving around, and my mom loved to drive everywhere, so we took lots of drives. But on this one, so it's a dam. The area where I took the picture is a dam. I decided that scrapbook paper that looked like sheet music could work as the dam. And then I have this little piece of scrap that has, I can't remember if it's Robin McClendon or Patty Tolly Parrish's stencil that has like the little, I want to call them hieroglyphics, but they're little symbols. Kind of look like Asian symbols. And I just decided that was going to go on the side, the cliff side next to the dam. It's been sitting in my stack of scraps, and I'm like, where can I use this? So this is where it's going. And it kind of makes it more interesting, I think. The hills, when we went to see it, both of those sides were covered in foliage and green. But due to the fact that I'm scrounging for green, I'm going to have to make myself some more green paper. I made them brown because in the fall they would be brown, and a lot of stuff around here is brown. So, but But I do have bits and pieces of green. There was a lot of greenery at the bottom at the base of this, because they have, the river comes out right there at the bottom. Though you can't see it in my little picture. And then I have some, I think it's decoupage paper that looks like map. I liked that at the bottom. So at the top of the dam, there's like a ridge, so I was trying to represent that with the pen. And there's a road that goes around on the hillside. So again, I was drawing that in. I don't think it visually interprets as a road, but that was the idea. Trying to make that side look like cliffs or rocks. You know, the different papers take that Stabilo and water a little differently. The ones that are paint, that it can practically wash off, but the ones that are paper, it really soaks in. But it'll fade eventually as it dries. Okay, that was day 47. That was the third one on here. Now I'm going colorful again. This one is day 48. And this one is just from my memory. Like, out of my head, but this is Mount Timpanogos, which is outside my front door. So it's not a stretch, right? And I did find some deli paper that had blue in it, and so that's what the sky is. I really like how the sky looks. I love that color. That makes this one really colorful. And that sheet music is supposed to look like a fence. And then this little thing, I guess it kind of looks like a river. We'll pretend it's a river. Like, this is kind of a view from across the Utah Lake. But I didn't give it enough water for it to really be Utah Lake, because it's fairly big, a fairly big lake. I try to hold it down while it dries, but then I get too impatient and I want to just keep going. So it's never quite dry when I start drawing on it, which is not the best thing. And again, just giving some depth so you can see the different layers, the hills that are in front of the mountain. There we go. Day 48. Alright, so this last one for today is day 49. Look at that. We are just about halfway through. don't remember how long this one takes. It has quite a few layers, I think. Again, this is deli paper that had some blue on it. So I did find me a little bit of blue. And the location is Bridal Veil Falls, and that's up Provo Canyon. So another place local to me. Do you like my little trees way up there on the top? What's funny is I tore it out of some, scrapbook paper that had little trees on it. So those are little trees. And bits of trees. Those are my best trees ever. Just kidding. Alright, so the next layer, I'm trying to determine where the green goes because I want it to fall behind the brown. And again, I have a couple of bits of green and then those little trees. I'll put this next level of hillside, cliff more like. People do go rock climbing up here at Bridal Veil Falls. They also, back when we got a lot of water, well, they might have been able to do it this year. We got so much. Sometimes it freezes and they can ice climb up that. We don't get a lot of water down Bridal Veil Falls much anymore. I should go check it out this year, though. We have, like, record snowfall. Probably is really full. I'm going to have to check it out. Anyway, back to my picture. So there's another hill that's green, and then there was kind of a gravel, kind of a slide. I don't think it was the river. It was just kind of like a rock slide come down. So I tuck that in there too, and then add some more foliage. The one on the right is a piece of bush from a scrapbook. The other one is painty bits. Now the goal is to make these pieces look like cliff. And then of course the green hillside. I think I was so focused on the cliffs I didn't add anything to my painty bits of tree bush, so they look pretty plain. I might have to come back and retouch those. So with this one, I'm pulling out my white paint pens again and putting in the waterfalls. And they do kind of split up like that, so I was trying to represent that. Anyways, I'm still having fun. I'm slowly running out of pictures that I can reference that are my own. But I hope you're enjoying these. If you are, please let me know. Which one is your favorite? I'm tending towards the Bridal Veil Falls one, this last one, as my favorite on this one. But let me know which one is yours. And if you liked it, hit the like button. And I will have them all in a playlist. So if you have any you haven't seen and you're dying to see it, check out the playlist. Because hopefully they will all be there. Oh, yeah, and if you're not a subscriber and you like what you see, think about subscribing. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day.